Hi, welcome to We Forgot TV, the video version of We Forgot the blog. I'm Scott, and today I wrote on my website about scales, and interestingly enough, I've been doing a lot of research on sort of the roots of where life comes from and the roots of music and this and that. And my studies and research have taken me to this book, or these series of books called the Vedas. It's the oldest known Indian written piece of work, and that's all the way back to at least 1000 BC was when the first written records of it were around, but before that it was passed along orally, and it was passed around on leaves of palm trees for far longer before that. So I wrote on my website about this music concept that comes from the Vedic people, and this concept is there are 22 tones that are considered notes, while the Western scale or Western theory finds 12 notes to be the amount of notes that there are. And there aren't really that many actual differences because the Vedic notes are actually very, very close to the notes that you find in the Western scale. They actually have all the same notes. The only difference is there are 10 extra notes, and those 10 extra notes are made to have two variations of each of the notes. So there are actually two notes that have only one variation, and that is C and G. There is only one version of C, which is called Sa, and one version of G, which is called Pa. And then the rest of the notes, every other note in the Western scale, chromatic scale, has two versions. So there's two Bs, there's two B flats. And the thing is, they have these two tones, and they are very close to each other. And if you heard either one of them without the other, you would know that it was that note, especially if you were a bit trained, but it would sound a little bit off. And so the idea is you have these two notes, and they are at such a small difference that you notice it, and that's all it is. It's just a little enough of a difference that your ear notices it. And if you hear it alone, then you don't notice it. So you build up scales in the same way that you do in Western music, with 7 notes or 7 tones. And you have all of these different variations now of what a major scale and a minor scale can be considered, because you have all of these extra notes to place in, and you would only have one version of each of the kinds of notes. So you'd only have one of the versions of B or one of the versions of F. So very, very cool stuff. Go to my website, find out more about Vedic music, and I'll talk more about it in future posts. I put a song up on SoundCloud called Saje, and I put up a scale example on there that I might play at the very end at the credits. Anyway, I hope everybody's having a great start to their weekend. And yes, it's Friday. Have fun. And Sunday Night Love. What are you guys doing for your weekend? I should have asked a question. It was very rude of me. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.